Hello everyone, this is Crustlemania and welcome back to another video. So this is going to be completely different. It's not going to be a Pokemon themed video, or it's not really going to be a price comparison video. This is just going to be almost like a Yu-Gi-Oh appreciation video. And I know that my channel has mainly been Pokemon focused, and that's cool. You know, it's the nature of kind of the channel and the popularity of right now. But for me personally, as I mentioned in the past, I'm really big into Yu-Gi-Oh. I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh, and this is kind of where I really like cards. It's just, you know, coming back into some of the card space again when I was trying to sell off my Yu-Gi-Oh bulk. I didn't realize how much Yu-Gi-Oh really dropped in terms of like cost compared to like Pokemon just skyrocketing. So this is just going to be me talking about certain cards that I really like that I maybe have already or I'm like looking for. And first off, I'm only going to go over like 5 cards, but there are probably many other cards I want, but I'm trying to limit what I really get for myself just because I don't want to collect too much. But I know the impulse for me for Yu-Gi-Oh, I think is kind of a lot worse to maybe collect versus like Pokemon for me, just because at Yu-Gi-Oh, back when I was younger playing Yu-Gi-Oh, a lot of the cards were really expensive and now they're a lot cheaper. So they're more affordable now. So I could kind of see why my friend ended up completing his full Yu-Gi-Oh set, just because all the cards are affordable. They've been printed into the ground with different variations and so on and so forth. So we'll get into this video for anyone that's also a Yu-Gi-Oh fan out there. I know this is mostly Pokemon content, but we're going to get into the stuff at least that I like, because I've been thinking about making this video for a while. And I think it will be pretty interesting to maybe hear some of the stories I have for some of these cards. So, Slifer the Sky Dragon. Oh man, where do I even begin with this card? Man, if I did not name this channel Crustlemania, it would have been something along the lines of Slifer the Sky Dragon. I mean, oh man, this card I've wanted since I was a child, or younger, let's just say. Ever since I saw this Slifer the Sky Dragon in the cartoon back in the day during Battle City, oh man, I've always wanted Slifer the Sky Dragon. Like, I remember the first time I saw Slifer the Sky Dragon, I mean, it's gonna kind of go backwards just because it's gonna go forward and backwards just because I kind of forgot this was a thing. But the first time I really remember all the time is when Slifer was summoned when Yugi was facing Bakura, or I guess he's called a Tem. I didn't even realize that. But when Yami Yugi was facing Bakura, and then he summons Slifer the Sky Dragon during Battle City on the blimp, and you just see Slifer wrap around the freaking blimp and his head just comes straight down with the double mouth, and you're just like, dude, that is such an epic entrance for this dragon. And out of all the legendary god cards, this one has like the coolest design. I don't know, I never really liked Obelisk that much, and I know like a friend that, like when I was younger, when we all used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, he had Obelisk. I remember seeing in person, I was like, this is not that special to me. Like, I wanted Slifer, and nobody had Slifer. I feel like someone had a winged dragon of Ra, but like no one had Slifer from what I saw. So I honestly will say, if this channel was not called Crustlemania, it might have been like Slifer Mania or something. I don't know, Slifer Sky Slifer or something. I don't even know. Like, it would have been Slifer Sky Dragon for sure. That definitely would have been a thing. But the channel is Crustlemania now. But my first card show I went to in July 2024, this was the card I was gunning for. This is the card I really wanted, and I knew Slifer was cheaper. I didn't even care what version, because they've printed this exact version, like with this kind of artwork of Slifer into the ground. I didn't care what version of it was, expensive or not. I just wanted this artwork. This is the OG artwork. I really wanted that. And that was the first time I met the Yu-Gi-Oh vendor at the local card shows. And he's a really cool dude. I mean, like, every single time now that I've gone to a card show, I'm talking with him for like 30 minutes about Yu-Gi-Oh. And like, he kind of remembers me. I saw him at the last one, even with all the crazy lines. He was like, yo, what's up, man? Like, I told him I was going to the show. He's like, yo, I wasn't sure if I was going to see you today, man. Like, yo, what's up, bro? How's life going? How's things going? Like, felt like I was his friend. It was pretty cool. But he had another card that I'll be talking about in this video, which I didn't swing on because I was very tempted to. Trust me, there are a lot of cards there that he had. I was very tempted to get, but the one thing on a side note I wanted to mention was there were younger kids that were actually wanting to buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards from him, which I thought it was my generation, but these kids were like teenagers. I didn't know teenagers were into Yu-Gi-Oh. I thought they were only into Pokemon. That's just a side note. But Slifer the Sky Dragon, I got it from him for the very first time that I met him at my very first card show. I was gunning for this card. I looked in his binder. I was looking literally for every Yu-Gi-Oh vendor. Like Pokemon was just like, okay, there's Pokemon, whatever. I was looking for the one person that does Yu-Gi-Oh because I knew it wasn't that popular. I found the one guy that did Yu-Gi-Oh. Lucky, right place, right time. Slifer the Sky Dragon was in there. It was a lightly played version. So, I mean, I think it's this exact one. I mean, it's worth... I think it was worth maybe a little bit more or less before. He was charging $2. I had an older Yu-Gi-Oh card, and I just did a trade with him. I think it was... I can't remember. It was a trap card. It was like a secret rare trap card. It was like Macros something. And I traded him for Slifer, and I was so happy. Like, I had the biggest smile on my face because I accomplished my goal of having Slifer the Sky Dragon. Every once in a while, too, like, I open up my binder and just stare at Slifer the Sky Dragon. I mean, that's how much I like Slifer the Sky Dragon. So, really happy to have actually gotten this card. It's in lightly played condition. I did not even care the condition. I really just wanted the artwork. It wasn't, like, there's a little bit of a dent on the top, but you can't even see it in the sleeve, so... Honestly, it was like a childhood dream just coming true getting this card. So, really happy to have gotten Slifer the Sky Dragon. I know they have multiple different artworks for this. When my friend showed me his Yu-Gi-Oh collection, his complete Yu-Gi-Oh collection, like he showed me all the different artworks of Slifer, and I was just like, that's crazy. And he was there too when I got my Slifer. He's like, dude, you got it. I'm like, yes, I got it, finally. So, that is Slifer the Sky Dragon. The next card that I'm going to show is a Cyber Dragon. Now, this is a card I also wanted. And I picked this up actually from the LGS store, but Cyber Dragon is a card I wanted since I watched GX. And I really like the GX beginning series because I think I only watched halfway through that series. I didn't even realize that. I didn't know there was this whole... Oh god, what's her name? Or its name? Yamel? Ymir? I don't know. Starts with a Y. I didn't even know that was like a whole arc in the show. I think I missed that completely because after that I stopped kind of watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Halfway through, I think, GX, just because back in the day they showed it every Saturday morning at like 6 or 7, and sometimes they replay episodes during holidays, so a season wouldn't get through that fast. So I mean, the full GX series probably took like 3 years of dedicated watching on TV, which I probably didn't have time for when I was younger, getting busier in life. So from the beginning part of GX, I really love E-Heroes, I really love Cyber Dragon, and I really wanted a Cyber Dragon. It was one of the cards I wanted for a long time, and in Yu-Gi-Oh! I really like the Dragon cards. The Dragons, by far, best Dragons. Hands down. Does not even compare. Pokemon does not even compare. Like, maybe this is an unpopular opinion. Most of the Dragons in Yu-Gi-Oh! Look way better than like Charizard. Rayquaza is the only one that can stand a chance up to like maybe Slifer, but the rest of the Dragons don't even compare to Yu-Gi-Oh! That's just my opinion. But Cyber Dragon I really wanted. The LGS store that I've gone to in the past, I guess the owner bought a master set from someone with vintage Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! He just kind of bought everything. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Didn't move, but I saw the Cyber Dragon there. The first time I saw it, I didn't pick it up. I was like, okay, if it's there next time, it's meant to be, I will definitely pick it up. Because after I passed on it, I kept thinking about this card. I'm like, dude, it was a Cyber Dragon. And like, I'm kind of picky for what I want. Like, I don't really care about conditions, but I want the OG, as close as possible to the OG version of these cards. So I know Cyber Dragon in the past, when it first was released, was a super rare. And I believe this is the super rare version. Looks kind of familiar. And when I saw that one there, I was like, ooh, that looks like the original Cyber Dragon, like LP. Okay, cool. Let's go get it. Next time I went there, I got a few other cards, and I got the Cyber Dragon. I was pumped. This one's also my binder. I don't look at it as often as Slifer the Sky Dragon, but definitely a card that I really appreciate now having. as this card was so expensive in the past. I think it was at least $15-$20 each Cyber Dragon. Back then, that was a lot of money. Like, I could buy snacks, I could buy random junk food, or I could buy a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I'm like, I'd rather buy junk food, man. Like, rather, why not? Or buy a bunch of like the packs for Yu-Gi-Oh and just open them. Like, might as well, you know. So anyways, I finally completed my goal. I have a Cyber Dragon now. It's in LP condition, but it's an awesome card, and I really do appreciate it. So one card that I'm looking for, oh, actually before that, I guess this card actually went up a little bit, even in this condition. I think I got this for less from the LGS Store Manager. And funny story, when I bought this card from the LGS Store Manager, he was like, dude, what is this? Like, how much is this? Like, what? He's like, he doesn't know Yu-Gi-Oh! So, like, when he saw me pulling out a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, he was like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, bro, this is for me. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, what is this even worth? I told him the price. He's like, oh, yeah, okay, it's worth that. And I'm like, but that's what it says on the app you use, so for cross-referencing. So anyways, glad I got the Cyber Dragon, but interesting, it went up in value a little bit on TCG Player. But now getting back to what I was saying, this is a card that I'm actually hunting, but I don't think I'm actually going to find anytime soon. This is the Dark Magician, Arcana's Dark Magician, the red Dark Magician. Again, from seeing the show, I've always wanted this Dark Magician. I always thought the variant was so interesting. I was like, whoa, there's a different version of Dark Magician. And at the card show, the Yu-Gi-Oh vendor that I'm pretty cool with, it seems like so far, he had one of these, but in Speed Duel in a PSA 8 or something. And he was like, bro, I was like, dude, I'm looking for this card. He's like, oh, I mean, it's right there. I'm like, but I'm not looking for Speed Duel. And for me, I don't know. I didn't realize Speed Duel was a thing because I only came back into kind of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff within, like, right before Pokemon. I just got kind of acquainted with more of the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. So kind of at around the same time, so maybe the last 6-7 months, I didn't know what Speed Duel even was. I never even heard of it. So I thought they were fake cards, to be quite honest, in the beginning, but they weren't, which was surprising to me. But anyways, I saw the Speed Duel and I was like, man, I don't think I could do it, man. Like, I want the OG one. He's like, dude, the OG one's really hard to find. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, at this point, like, I don't really care. Like, as long as it's not like crazy damaged, like if it's like an LP or even MP, like, I'll take this card. Like, I just want the artwork of this Dark Magician, just because I always wanted this from when I was younger, seeing it on the show. So this is the Dark Magician, and near mint, first edition is $5. And this card you don't find very often. Like, if people have it, they've either graded it or it's in their collection, and they don't get rid of this one very often, just because you don't see this card that often. And I don't know, I guess I could go for the Speed Duel, but just the Speed Duel stamp to me just looks kind of strange. Maybe eventually I'll get used to it, and maybe I'll get the Speed Duel one, but for now it's just like, I don't really like that Speed Duel stamp. But anyways, this is a card I really would want, and I don't know if I'll ever get it, but I really would really love this card in my collection one day. The YGLDs, so the Yugi's Legendary decks, like, this is the King of Games, this is the OG one. So the next card is also a card I want, and we're going back to the Dragon phase. So Armed Dragon level 7. Crazy story with this card. When I was younger, back in the Yu-Gi-Oh days, my brother actually bought me this card from a guy that was selling cards at our local school. I had this card for all of one day, played it for all of one round of dueling, and then someone stole it. So, and I remember, I think back then this card was like $20, so that was a lot of money to a kid. So, I mean, that was like a big heartbreak. So this card I've kind of been chasing for a while, and the same time I saw Slifer, I had an opportunity to get this card. I passed on it just because my friend was like, yo, the condition's not great, like, maybe you'll like find another version online or something. I'm like, sure, or like maybe I'll look around again. And I didn't go back to the Yu-Gi-Oh guy after that. And right now I'm kind of kicking myself because after that, every single time I've seen him, he's not had Armed Dragon level 7 anymore. I was like, dude, I was like, oh, should have got it. Even though it's kind of in like LP MP condition, I should have got it just to have the card, because he wasn't asking too much for it. So I think his was like more an LP condition. So It probably was about, okay, TCG player acting weird. Yeah, it was around this price of like $3-ish. Kind of kicked myself for not getting it. But man, it's such a nice card, and it's like ever since it was kind of taken from me from back in the day, I've always wanted Armed Dragon. I've really liked this card. I like the whole series, but when I was pulling packs in the past, I had a bunch of level 3s and level 5s. I'm like, dude, I want a level 7, and we'll get to the next one because that's going to be the next one I'm going to show. But I've never seen a level 10 in real life. I'll be quite honest. But the artwork for this card, again, just my opinion, so much cooler than any of the Pokemon dragons besides Rayquaza. Like, any Yu-Gi-Oh dragon to me is just far superior than any Pokemon dragon. And I think Charizard and Rayquaza are the main two dragons. I don't really know any of the other kind of dragons. Oh, maybe Dragon Knight. This is way cooler than Dragon Knight. I'm sorry to everyone that maybe this is an unpopular opinion to a lot of the Pokemon people that watch this channel, but man, these dragons are just the Yu-Gi-Oh dragons are just so much cooler. I mean, look at this thing. He's got drills coming out of him. But anyways, really I'm kind of on the hunt for this card if I see one at a relatively decent price, and if it's kind of within the Soul of the Duelist kind of OG kind of time era, I'll maybe swing on it. And the last card, as I mentioned, is the level 10, Armed Dragon level 10. Honestly, I've never seen this card in real life. I've only seen it in pictures kind of like this. I've never seen this card in real life, which is kind of crazy to me. And I always thought this one was really cool. Back in the day, I was trying to run a dragon deck. I mean, that's how much I like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragons. You know, I don't know if anyone's watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge and seen Cybe, like, dragons, yeah. I'm kind of the same way with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragons, like, dragons, yeah. So, like, I feel like for Seto Kaiba there. But honestly, like, when I was trying to run a dragon deck, I remember I had level 3 and level 5. I had level 7 for a second, didn't have it, but like never had level 10, and was like, man, what if I had it one day and I could play it? Never could, because back in the day, because I think Armed Dragon, this card was probably $50. Guaranteed $50, $40-$50 at the hype of Yu-Gi-Oh! This definitely was like a $40-$50 card, so I couldn't afford it. That's for sure. So, and no one, I think, had it. I'd never seen, to this day, I don't think I've seen this card in real life. Yeah, I don't think I've seen one. So this one is definitely one I would really like to have in my collection one day. I'm trying not to collect too much, but with Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm a little bit more open. Like Pokemon, I'm trying to limit it to like a certain amount of cards, just because I still have some of my childhood cards. So I still have a not too bad, not a big collection, but like a decent sized childhood card collection. And Yu-Gi-Oh, I have my childhood collection too, but I kind of would like to obtain some of the cards I was not able to obtain in the past. And around where I am, Pokemon's very big and Yu-Gi-Oh is not, so not many places have Yu-Gi-Oh. But this is a card, I mean, it's probably the most expensive one on here, but like, dang, level 10 would just be really cool. I mean, I've never seen this card in real life, and it just looks like menacing. Like, look at that Armed Dragon, man. He's just got like the freaking wings of this dragon look like blades. Crazy, man. Imagine this guy and Blade Buster together. Like, oh, dang, crazy combo. Just for like the looks of it. But no, sorry, Buster Blader. Yeah. But anyways, these are the cards that I kind of want to appreciate. There's some other cards that I totally could go into with Yu-Gi-Oh! I feel like the video would be way too long, like E-Heroes, the Blue Eyes, the Red Eyes, Ancient Gear Golem. Like, the list goes on of other different cards I could go into, but these are like the initial ones. The Magnet Warriors, for sure. I can go on and on, but you know, these are the initial cards, as I mentioned just now, that I'm kind of into, and I figured I'd do a little bit of an appreciation for. So I thought it was kind of interesting there. And you know, if you guys like these Yu-Gi-Oh videos, let me know. Honestly, I kind of have a blast with this type of video, because like I really like Yu-Gi-Oh, and I really love these cards, and I don't know, maybe it shows in this video, but These cards are crazy, and honestly, at the LGS store, they had some other cards that I wanted as a kid as well. And like, oh my god, I can't even tell you how much I wanted to buy all those Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Couple to mention, they had a Barrel Dragon and a Mirage Knight. Those two, Mirage Knight I've seen in magazines, and Barrel Dragon I've seen in the show, and other people had Barrel Dragon, and I've really thought that was such a cool machine dragon. But I'm getting off on a tangent there. But that is the thing, like Yu-Gi-Oh, it's a little bit dangerous for me because I feel like I could drop a lot more money on this than I can Pokemon without even realizing it. So I try to restrain myself with Yu-Gi-Oh for sure as much as Pokemon, but Yu-Gi-Oh sometimes it could be hard, especially if I run into these guys. Yeah, different story. So anyways, hope you guys like this video. See you guys in the next one, whether it be another Yu-Gi-Oh video or another Pokemon video. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.